outside the city, and there was no city water, and then y'all came in. So,
Right here on Leroy Street.
did you really?
Yes.
You still live here in the neighborhood?
No,
Yeah.
I stay in Union Town now.
Hawthorne, Broadway. I'm sorry, tell me where you stay now? Where you live?
Union Town, Stallings,
Oh,
What's your name?
Hawthorne, Broadway.
Your name?
Hawthorne.
Your name is Hawthorne Broadway. Oh my
Isn't it a great
goodness.
name?
I was thinking like streets.
Yeah, actually, it'd probably be good.
I was thinking Hawthorne.
I think it would be
I spell it
helpful.
just like Hawthorne down here, except E. I don't use E on my name.
I can't laugh. My name's Tennille. I got named after a band, so.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Tony and Tennille. What is it? Tennille?
Captain and
Captain
Tennille.
and Tennille.
We all grew up together, just like a big family.
It would be helpful, I think, if each of you just said your name
Yeah.
for the camera, so we can.
I got Hawthorns. What's your
LC Clifton.
LC Clifton?
Marvin Price.
George Wallace.
Willie Davis.
Great.
Just go right here. They might got you.
You want to go ahead and start?
Oh, yeah. So I'm sorry, Mr. Davis was talking about growing up when there was no water. And did y'all get water from wells or from the creek or springs or what?
But we all had wells and pumps down. We didn't come in the city until 1948. So we had outside sanitation.
Outhouse.
And that is the story in itself because it made for neighbors. Because we all had the same pumps, the same wells.
So did y'all go swimming in the creek?
Yeah, that was,
Where'd you go?
Big
well,
one.
This big borehole
yeah, the big one over.
is behind the Mint Museum.
I started out learning how to swim in the little borehole. As I grew bigger and saw the diving edge at the big borehole, I went down to the big borehole. Behind the big borehole is where a lot of the more prominent families' children, namely the Belts and other their kids, swam in but behind the Mint Museum, as we know it. It's called the Big Borehole. And had been created by those before me was a hill that you could run down and dive over in. But if the little borehole was more sandy, you could walk on a little bit of sand out there and swim for maybe 5 feet.
Yeah, and the little borehole was back up near the Monroe Road.
By the trust.
Yeah, by the railroad. Yeah.
More importantly,
So if you couldn't swim, did you go to the little boy hole?
Yeah. You learn in the little boy.
there were 3 swimming holes.
Yeah.
One that you were told don't go through the cover on the other side of the railroad. We didn't go over there. Many kids from First Ward, something like that. But more importantly, Caucasian kids played there. We didn't go over there. We were told that it was a sinkhole. We didn't know it was a sinkhole. So we used Little Boys Hole that's between Randolph Road and 7th Street. And the Big Boys Hole is on the south side of Randolph Road behind the Mint Museum. And the Little Boys Hole, when we told, don't go there, the little kids swam there. Now, if you talk about creeks, there's a third thing that you would have to consider another time because the significance of a stream that you didn't mention is a branch right here that's divided the neighborhood from Steptown and Greertown. And now it's just Grier Heights. And that may not be in your information there, but that's part of it.
The branch, I'm sorry, the branch that runs right over
Right.
there?
East
It
and west.
divides Grier Town from
Stumptown.
Stumptown? Well, so which part was which?
This is
good
Grier
now.
Town.
Stumptown is the other side.
You see some T-shirts out there today saying "Good Down, Stumptown forever."
Was there a swing like from a tree at that hole?
We did in all the streets. That vines.
You did. Oh, vines. That's what you used. Because I've found pictures of kids swinging off of like a vine off of a tree into the water, and I always wondered. I think it was one of those swimming places because it always says Briar Creek, but it doesn't never say where.
Well, so how deep was the water in the big boy hole, and is it still that deep?
But I think at that point, what we declared as big boy hole, it may be still wide and deep. It may be wide and deep because for years after, before I went to high school, I would occasionally go down. Well, once they built Mouse Park, what their kids out in the hill, they had a baseball field right down there. I would go down after baseball, watching them practice, and notice that the hill that was built on is still there.
You mean Eastover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Directly down behind Richardson.
Directly behind me.
I'm sorry, what?
It's directly behind me.
Directly behind it? We should go explore.
I know.
Let's go. So you were talking about all the rich white kids went down there too?
Yeah.
Did y'all swim together?
We would occasionally, they would, they would somewhat tread of the fact that we could run off the hill and do all of that. And, that was a little sort of real chauvinist, you might say.
So y'all were showing him how to do it?
Showed them how to do it, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And then there was a gentleman by the name of John Benton.
Didn't.
No part of his experience was he was paralyzed, but he could run down the hill on his cane and dive over into the water. And Caucasian fellows thought that was really something to see. They were standing off doing that. Of course, he could swim, even though he had no use of his lower extremity, he could swim from the top bottom.
Now, was he a white kid or black kid?
Black guy.
Was he from Grier Town?
He was.
Well, that explains something. I think that I'm sorry, my hand is sweating so much, I'm gonna take this off. That may explain something that I heard once from a Second Ward alum named Wright Hunter, who recalls his brother. He said they were down at the creek and his brother beat up Billy Graham. And I've been trying to figure out what creek.
Well,
And why, where would, because Wright was from Brooklyn. And I just was trying to, and I'm thinking maybe that was what was
But
going
you
on.
need to remember that. But you need to remember that we have Irving Creek, Sugar Creek, Rye Creek, those three creeks running from north to south. Sugar Creek was seldom ever used because of the dirty looking, purple looking guy that was in the water. Grier Heights, the little boy's hole, big boy's hole, I don't want to be clear. And we didn't realize they probably just as dirty. Another trouble.
Yeah.
But there was people swam in Irving Creek, so the one you talking about they must have been Irving Creek on the west side of town. Because on this side we had people from lower end of Brooklyn and Big Cherry coming to Rye Creek.
So y'all got in fights down there too?
Not that often.
What about?
Well, hey,
Kids fight.
Well, the fight in my time was the Cherry guys was kind of wanting to be there that day. And the Grier Town guys were making run back to Cherry.
Did the girls go swimming there too?
I never know
I
girls.
seen some
Yeah.
girls.
It might have, but
they would hide in the bushes with Peter.
that's all, yeah.
Because y'all were swimming naked?
Yeah.
It's a naked
Really?
creek.
Everybody was naked in the creek?
Yeah, everybody was naked.
Even the rich white kids?
Yep. Everybody was naked.
From the time you were little to the time you grew
Yeah.
up, just always.
You realize you're talking about the sons and the daughters of Eastover and Hyde Park.
Yes.
So they were not poor.
I know, but they were still naked in the creek. So did anybody see anybody who went on to be a mayor naked in the creek?
Well, I don't know if John Belk himself was seen to be naked, but he and his brothers were known for swimming in
Was that family came from Sept?
Yeah, he lived up next to Grier Hospital.
Do we need to get that part again because of your phone?
Yeah, probably. Go ahead,
Could
say it
you
again.
say that again about John Belk and his brother?
His brothers, there was four of them, I believe, three or four of them. They lived up near Grier Hospital. And of course, I don't recall whether they have swimming pool back or not. A friend of our family worked for them at the time. Miss Cole. But they swim in it.
Did you guys ever think about it being dirty?
No.
No.
Didn't think about it.
No.
It was clean too.
It was during that time,
Yeah.
everything was clean, there wasn't no dirty water.
Yeah.
It wasn't polluted.
So this was in what, the 40s and the 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what, I mean,
It was in the 50s.
it has always looked to me like Briar Creek is one of the more visible dividing lines between neighborhoods. Because here you got Grier Heights on one side and Eastover and Elizabeth on the other side. What was that like? Did people come together at the creek, or was that like the wall?
No, but they came together.
Because a lot of domestic help that the more prominent communities had, the domestic help came from Grier Heights. My grandfather, one of my grandfathers, my mother's mother, he did a lot of landscaping work all along in the business area. And of course, there was ties to the Grier family. And you may know, David can share with you more about it. Mr. Grier himself had tied to a lot of the prominent white folk in terms of getting work for people who lived in the neighborhood. But again, on my father's side, my grandfather was a big contractor, and he built a lot of the older mansions that you live, those driveways, foundations for homes, correct me if I'm wrong, he had a crew of men that he went over and did a lot of the homes in North Shore. That's my mother, he was on my dad's dad. And then on the other side, my grandfather did a lot of the landscape, garden cutting and what have you. So it was through Mr. Grier, a lot of that was created, but my grandfather was much older than Mr. Grier. He was older than Mr. Grier. Not much older, but my grandfather he was a general contractor. And parts from years here, Grier Heights, Rock Farm, he did the foundation work.
Were there any bridges other than Randolph Road?
Bridge? Yes,
The one,
yes, you had.
Yeah, 7th Street.
Randolph Road.
Yeah, Randolph Road.
The 4th Street coming out first.
Right.
It stopped at, where Dodger intersects with Randolph, and it was called Princeton Avenue Extension from there.
Mhm.
And then they later changed it to Randolph Road. But it was always, that road, even when it was one paved road, was one that carried down to the Sheridan's community.
Did you guys go to school in Grier Heights, or did you have to
The elementary school.
the elementary school here? Okay.
Yeah. And
So you
junior
didn't
high,
have
junior
to.
high.
So like Cherry didn't have to go across Brooklyn to go to
No.
Second Ward. So y'all didn't have to do
We
that.
did, high school we did.
High school you did.
Yeah, we
In
did.
fairness, there was a time when Cherry, Marley stopped having a 6th and 7th grade, so the kids from Cherry had to come over here for the last 2 years. And then when they got to junior high school, they went to New York Road, Second Ward.
So did y'all have to cross the creek to get to the school?
The kids that come on had to come out. They
Oh,
walk out,
okay.
walk out and walk
This
out.
building was built before Second Ward High School. This building, he taught all of the 3 of us.
Yeah.
He taught 3 of us.
Yeah. He didn't talk, he didn't teach.
What did you guys do besides just swim in the creek?
You know what it is.
Well, the one guy was talking about how he would collect clay and like get
Well, the
a
clay.
net for getting minnows or something like that.
About collecting the clay, you could put the poles in to, I wasn't sure what he was talking about.
I don't know.
We need to get him in here.
It used to be leeches
Leech.
in the creek.
In the creek, yeah.
But they get on you?
Horse fly. Yeah, they get
Cool
on.
them off.
Yeah.
That was surviving for food too, we did a lot of fishing.
Yeah.
So you got your fish out of the creek and ate it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did all of you guys do that?
I did.
Yeah.
Good fish.
What kind of fish was it? Like bass or
All freshwater fish. Bass,
Real,
they had,
like crappie?
catfish.
crappie.
Catfish?
And then summertime, when it would have a big rain, it would flood.
Did you guys go swim when it flooded or you stayed away from it?
No, you didn't swim with it.
One time I did. Almost got drowned.
You did? What happened?
Well, my brother saved me.
He jumped in after
The
you?
current moving kind of fast, but I could swim a little bit, dog. But when the creek was up, it took me on.
How much did it flood? How big was the?
It was overflow.
Rapid
Yeah.
is overflow. Yeah, it would.
I mean,
Hard rain.
Did it go all the way up to the
It would
big
get so
museum?
deep that you couldn't have passage down 7 feet. Behind the time, you couldn't have.
Right.
So what about this little branch that runs through the neighborhood? Did anybody go hang out there?
Yeah, I used to fish in it.
Did you really?
And
Yeah.
that's why I learned to swim.
In that little
That
branch?
little branch,
And it dumps right into the
Now, did y'all's children swim in the creeks?
No.
How come?
They
had
had
swimming
pools.
pools.
They had pools.
Well, back then, they had the pool out there at Sunset Park, which was from out off of Bettyville Road. That's where Then they opened up Double Oaks later.
So they opened up the pools for you guys to
So I
swim.
caught a little bit of devil oak. So when they take your clothes and stuff.
Keep your clothes on.
Keep going, I'm taking notes. I'm
Okay.
sweating. Like,
Well, do you guys
Sorry,
have
it's
any
so hot.
any specific memories that you have? I know somebody was telling us about how they remembered the kids that were jumping on the one bridge of Sugar Creek and they all fell in. Do you guys have any sort of memories like that? Anything that sticks out
Say
to
that
you?
again.
The kids that were jumping on the bridge on Little Sugar Creek and the bridge ended up breaking and they all fell in. Do you guys just have any specific memories that?
I know what you're talking about, I'm not sure that it was that way. That was falling flood, and that bridge gave way, and then the kids were drowned.
Right.
Yeah, we talked to a gentleman from Cherry who remembered that the kids used to get on it and slap it onto the water. And I think he speculated that that might have been what happened that caused the bridge
There was kids
to
on there,
give way.
during a time of flooding. And there's kids on that bridge, there was too many kids and fell, and several kids were drowned.
Yeah. Do you remember what year that was?
Well, just I wanted to just hear like a specific memory that you have, something that stuck out to you, something that you remember. And if you can't remember anything, that's fine. But if you could just like kind of go around and just give me one maybe story or something specifically that you remember, one time that you swam the creek, this happened or something like that.
Well, I remember one time when we were swimming down in the Big Door hole and Uncle James came down there and got Anthony and Wild Man and beat him all the way back to Griptown.
Not only that, my aunt.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lived right down the street where she was babysitting for my mother. And along with a couple of my friends, we sneaked down and went into the big football hole. She came down, caught me, beat me from the football hole all the way home.
Because we weren't supposed to swim.
See, you weren't supposed to be down there.
We would sneak,
We were
sneak
sneak
off
and go down there.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember my dad could tell when we been down there, scratch our skin.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It looked kind of white. He could ash it through.
Yeah.
He could tell we been snuck
I
in.
remember my mother told me I better not never go back there.
But we would go
Go
anyway.
anyway, yeah.
Why wouldn't they let you go?
They didn't want you in there.
They didn't want to drown.
Yeah.
That's it. That was
They didn't want you to
Yeah,
drown.
yeah, they didn't want you in there. Scared you gonna get, you're gonna drown.
Everybody step on a piece of glass
Yeah.
in the bottom.
Cause it wasn't clean.
Like there was trash and garbage and
Yeah.
stuff.
And no one of us did ever see, we also saw snakes around there.
Yep.
Also, always saw snakes. Didn't bother anybody, didn't keep out of the water.
Mm-mm.
We
Did
didn't
you-
worry about it either.
Mm-mm.
You were never worried about them, so you never tried to get away from them?
Mm-mm.
Anybody ever get bit?
No.
Uh,
I don't know.
What else, other animals did you see down there?
I see the bus with
Frogs and all that. I
What
always see
else come
frogs.
around water?
yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't ever see any like deer or foxes or anything like that?
No. No.
Okay.
Did y'all all know how to swim?
You learn.
The
That
old
was
guy
a
would kinda
part of
teach
it,
you.
learning. Yeah.
I mean, was it like official swimming, or was it more like little kid kind of
Dog.
dog?
Dog
The
shelter.
area that you swam in, I would say was about the size of this room.
Mhm.
The swimming area, and the creeks came into it. Height-wise, I would say back then, maybe about five, maybe 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah, about like this.
So if you weren't tall enough, you couldn't touch
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah.
And you would run off a hill into it.
Y'all would dive in
Yeah.
5 feet deep?
If you're too big, you came off here too fast, you go roof.
You might
Yeah.
go to the same.
What is the bottom of the creek like? Was it sand?
Sand.
One part was rocks.
You
Big
could
big
dive
rocks.
off the rocks too.
Do you remember anybody ever getting hurt?
No.
Go scratch it, yeah.
Just scratches. Scratches from what? From the bushes and stuff around it?
What are rocks?
The rocks?
So did anybody ever come find you and say, get out of there, get out of there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
All the time? I mean,
Uncle.
other than parents, I mean, any like rich
No.
white
No.
Eastover folks
No.
or cops or anybody?
No.
Just your own parents
Yeah.
saying, get out of there, it's dangerous? And you survived.
Mhm.
But so the girls, what were the girls doing? Were they like ignoring it, or other than
Maybe peeping years.
How come they didn't swim? I mean, besides the fact that you were naked.
They didn't want no part of that.
Hmm.
That was a boy
Yeah,
thing.
it's a boy thing.
Well, now, I'm guessing that after a certain point in your lives, y'all kind of outgrew it.
It was,
About what age?
I think 12 or 13
yeah, 13.
Oh, so that was kind of early. I was thinking it'd be more like 18 or 19 before you all stopped swimming.
18, 19, we was all in service that came out of high
You
school.
realize what was in it then, you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else.
No, I think that unless you have other stories, we'll let you go because we know that you are really hot.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
It's
I'm
fine.
good.
This has been really interesting.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
That's it.